Thanks to the support as a channel member, Captain Fighting Peacock. Upgrade your staff, everybody said. Kev, you need better staff. Better staff will help you out. Yeah, I got better staff. My new assistant manager was here 8 months before he left to become manager of Farnham, who were in this promotion race with us. I'm putting that on you lot. Unnecessary disruption. Should have kept my rubbish assistant manager that nobody wanted. Hello and welcome to part 42 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two very important league games for you. As far as this promotion race goes, we're away against Southall, who are just outside the playoffs, and at home against Flackwell Heath, who are 1 spot and 1 point behind us in this promotion race. Since you were last with me, mostly things have been going quite well, apart from that defeat in the Velocity Cup quarter-final against Chelmsford, but Chelmsford are from the league above, so not the end of the world. We now get to just focus on the league. We are on a 3-match winning run in the league, but as mentioned, we now have to do it without my assistant manager, who has been part of this revolution. Ross Ridley, who only joined us back in the summer when we had our bit of a staffing rebuild, decided to walk out and become manager of Farnham, who we play next episode. We'll play Farnham there, away against Ross Ridley's Farnham, knowing that there's a very good chance that we'll need to beat them in order. I mean, hopefully he's gone there as a plant. If they're just meaningless mid-table by then, which it's looking like they might be, I'd like to think he just throws on the final day of the season and lets us pick up the win that we may well need at that point to go and win automatic promotion. Because one thing's for sure, we don't want to have to mess around in the playoffs, but as it stands at the moment, with 8 games to go? 8 games to go. We're 1 point behind Phoenix Sports. I don't think we play them again now. So we are relying on them dropping points. And ultimately, it's non-league. We're gonna drop points. They're gonna drop points. Everyone's gonna drop points. That's how it works at this level. I just hope that we drop slightly fewer points than everybody else around us. The other thing, of course, is we have continued to mess around with a few transfers here and there. I think, had you seen Raheem Best left the club? He got in a grumpy, so we moved him on because he was in a grumpy. But we have now signed a couple of new players. Kelvin Dugwid. Is that how you say that guy's name? He's a centre-back. We were a little bit light on centre-backs. He's a pretty good one. He's on loan from Salisbury, I think until the end of the season. Yeah, until the end of the season. Some of these loans I've done lately, I don't think it defaults to the end of the season anymore. So we've done a couple of these that have been weird loans. That guy ends in May. There was one of them that I realised once I got him in, he was only here for a month. He's probably already been in and gone. But he's on loan with us until the end of the season. He's played a couple of times. I'm sure he'll be fine. And then we've also signed a permanent player, Johnny Dolan. He looks pretty good. He's a striker, 20 years old, 3.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. Theoretically as good as Tom Best. And plays in a similar role, if not in a similar style. I mean, he's too slow to be Tom Best, but he's a striker who can also play out on the left-hand side. We've not used him yet because he's only just arrived. But it's another weird one. He signed for Paulton on a free transfer, started 28 games for them this year, but then was released before the end of the season. I don't understand how this happens. He did only score 3 goals for them. They play in, I think that's the division above where we are. Yeah, so they 28 starts in the league above, but wasn't really scoring goals. Hopefully, we can get him scoring goals for us. If nothing else, he's 20 years old and has experience at a higher level. That's got to be a good thing. So, this is the team for the game against Southall. Obviously, we're not going to be throwing him straight in. That'd be madness. He's going to start from down on the bench. So, it is Clayton in goal because we have got an injury to Smalley. I think, had you seen that happen? Is that new? Smalley's broken his arm. And arms are quite important for goalkeepers. Smalley's broken his. But him being out of the team has coincided with a winning run. So maybe Lewis Clayton is not awful after all. He's been here a couple of years. I mean, he is a whole 1 star. Might not have the required ability or potential. Thanks, guys. We have got a new assistant manager. Oh, this is chaotic, the start to this episode. Goodness me. In amongst all of the staff changes, we do have a new assistant manager. He's not as good as the one that left. But this guy, Steve's in, and hopefully Steve's not good enough to be dragged away by another club. So Clayton in goal, a back four of Gibson, Dugwid, Riley and Leroy, Chambers and Rowe in midfield, and then Giles, Wright and Best supporting Butterfield up front. I know when we first signed Chambers, it was with a view to playing that 4-3-3. But if you have a look at the schedule, 4-3-3, we didn't really stick with for very long. Chambers picked up an injury. We then kind of dropped the tactic. And because we're now playing well, now that he's back, he's just having to slot in and play in this role. I mean, he is natural as a ball-winning midfielder, as a defensive midfielder as well. So it's not the end of the world to play him in a more defensive role. We're certainly not getting the best out of a guy who, when he signed, was supposed to be our best player. But that's what happens when you get injured. Just have to build a tactic around you. We found one that works better, so he has to fit into that. And, I mean, he doesn't look out of place in there at the moment, which is a good thing. You can see my assistant manager was trying to bring Macaulay in ahead of him, but I feel like probably play the guy who's got 4 stars of current ability. That's probably the sensible thing to do, I think. So Southall are a team just outside of the playoffs. They're looking at this thinking this is a must-win game for them. 8 games to go, or 7 games to go after this one. They're 4 points outside of the playoffs. If they lose here at home to a team in the playoffs already, then they're pretty much signing off on the season. Yeah, thanks very much. And we'll see you next year, boys and girls. Whereas if they pick up the win here, they drag themselves much closer to where we are and straight back in that playoff mix. Whilst also, of course, beating a team they could potentially face in the playoffs when the time comes. If there was ever any question of if Clayton was good enough, I feel like he's just answered it there. That is terrible goalkeeping. It's just kind of slipped under him. And I think our inability to sign another goalkeeper, when Smalley was having his little wobble and we looked at other keepers, we had Endurance Johnson, I think his name was, who I'm going to remember because his name was so great. He just refused to discuss terms with us. He would not come in. But if we'd have been able to bring him in back then, who knows where we might be now. That is a long throw from Leroy. Utterly pointless because Best's currently getting treatment on the touchline. So it was a throw that would have been aimed at him even though he wasn't there. So not ideal, but was interesting to see just how far he can throw it. We don't seem to capitalise on that. In fact, have we got long throws on? Because having seen that, I think we might have to put them on. Right, we're putting long throws on, boys and girls. Because that was impressive business. So let's get long throws on. Now we've seen how far Leroy can throw the ball. Of course, as you all know, I'm going to forget to do that between matches. So this will be the one and only match we have it on for. Because, yeah, I'll just forget. I'm gonna make a note. I'm going to write it. If we score from it, I might remember to put it on. But I guess more importantly, we are now 2-0 down and we're not looking very good at all. But we will, yes, continue with our tactical changes. Tom Best has picked up a knock as well. We're 2-0 down and the best player in the league has taken an injury. So this is not exactly going our way today. It looks like he is recovering some fitness. I think I'll probably take him off at half-time because I don't want to risk him getting a proper injury. This game is probably already gone at this point. So if we take Best off and hopefully have him fresh for the next match, I guess that's the theory. I've just realised we didn't go and have a look at where Southall is, although there's good reason for that. This episode is chaos. Have I ever made a YouTube video before? I obviously did a vlog from Southall when I did the Wembley to Wembley FA Cup series earlier in the year. So if you want to know where Southall is, you don't need to look on Google Maps. I've actually been there. They were so nice. They gave me a shirt. Go watch those videos. It was all done with a plan. It isn't chaos. Don't worry about it. Right. Best has kind of recovered. Do we leave him on now? He's not showing as carrying an injury. His fitness seems fine. But is it a risk to leave him on the pitch? We're going to risk it and leave him on the pitch. We're also going to go attacking. And I'm looking at the bench and thinking we've got Dolan, the new striker. We could throw a second man on up front. That might be... Oh, good. The aliens are in. I mean, when it's chaotic, it's chaotic. The aliens here. What a goal from Jack Riley! That was absolutely out of nowhere. That's our centre-back. Who knew he had that in him? My goodness me, that was ridiculous. The touch and then the finish. He needs to start playing in midfield. That was brilliant. What is there about him that suggests he should be capable of doing that? Nothing is the answer to that question. That was brilliant. He's got 1 for long shots. Does that count as a long shot as it was just inside the air? It was certainly a very well-placed shot. Right, now let's demand more and hopefully drag ourselves back into this. Maybe it's not all over. I am still keeping an eye on Tom Best because you know, I would rather have him fit for the run-in and lose this one than use him to scrape back to a draw, but then lose him for the rest of the season. I think he makes more of an impact if he's not injured. Butterfield from range, it's 2-2. Maybe we need to stay on the attacking instruction because we've dragged ourselves back into it. What a half-time team talk I've done here. I'm a motivational master. It's 2-2, and this good form that we're in is seemingly, hopefully, going to continue. Lovely finish from Butterfield. Right, now I guess we offer encouragement and just keep on going, lads. We've had 2 shots on target and scored them both. I don't think they're playing with a goalkeeper. Let's do another shot and see if we can continue our excellent current conversion rate. I want to see one of these attacking long throws as well. Now I've seen how far Leroy can throw it. I know play for set pieces is an option you can turn on. Can we play for throws? I want to play for throw-ins. Forget corners. I want a throw-in about here, and I want to see the kind of chaos he causes. They've got him behind our defence here, and Clayton has been very comfortably lobbed because he's not very good. Maybe we shouldn't have stayed on the attacking instruction, but you know what? When you turn things around and play as well as we played for those first 10 minutes, grabbing those couple of goals, it's very difficult to then go, actually, you know what? We'll go back to being a little more negative again. Phoenix Sports are losing, I think, because there's still only a 2-point gap between us. They're drawing to Rayners Lane. Our old rivals, Rayners Lane, potentially doing us a little bit of a favour. Right, Best is now tiring. He is going to come off. Slew can come on the right-hand side. And I think we're also going to bring on Johnny Dolan. And part of me thinks we put Butterfield out wide because Butterfield is the quicker of the two. Dolan really shouldn't be capable of playing out here. I think that is what we do. I think we put Dolan up front. Butterfield, despite the form he's been in, moving out to the left, and Dolan can go up front, and we'll see if he's any good. I mean, he's a big, strong boy, and we're telling him to do long throws. So if anyone's going to convert one of them, you would think it would be Dolan on his debut. Rayners Lane have taken the lead against Phoenix Sports. This is now a huge opportunity. If we can find an equaliser, we actually go top of the league, because Jersey Bulls are winning already, so they can't get to 64 points. An equaliser puts us top, which, based on how the majority of this match has gone, is far more than we deserve. Let's get Chatter on, a bit more attacking from left back. We're going to go very attacking as well, and fingers crossed we can find that equaliser from somewhere. Here is Leroy for the long throw. That is not what I was led to believe we would be getting. I feel like I've built that up and then nothing has happened. Brilliant. Those of you who've been watching the Twitch/LOLLUJO 2 save with East Fife will be familiar with how successful long throws can be in FM24 as well, because our striker in that save, Brendan Critchlow, he's 6'5". Clayton is terrible. I'm going to ignore that happened and tell you about Brendan Critchlow. He's 6'5". He doesn't go on the end of the throws. He takes them and lobs them way into the area, and it's such a source of goals for us in the Scottish Premier League. So they are useful when you have the guy who can do it. But that was, I mean, Clayton has been absolutely shocking today. At least 2 of the goals have been directly his fault. And, yeah, we need Smalley to get fit quick. And he's not going to. He's out for another month. I mean, what do we do here? I guess we have to go and find a goalkeeper. We've conceded 5 goals. We probably need to come off very attacking. One of the things we've got going for us at the moment is our goal difference. We can't sacrifice it by sending everybody forward. I guess the positive is at least Phoenix Sports have lost as well, or are losing as well. So we're not actually any worse off than we were before. That's a long throw. We're still only 1 point behind Phoenix Sports, but it's definitely a missed opportunity today. Chambers has his first goal for the club. It's very much just a consolation goal. And, yeah, this is... I don't want to see the highlights anymore. This all goes down to Clayton. That has been such a poor performance. Get Dylan back. Let's go and see what Dylan's doing. We'll bring him back for a couple of games. Goodness me. Well, one emergency goalkeeper signing later, and hopefully we're in much better shape to take on Flackwell Heath. Oliver Bosworth is in. He's 26 years old. He's 6'2", 3.5 stars of current ability, 4.5 stars potentially. He's better than Callum Smalley. He was playing for Alvechurch in the division above, although didn't actually play for them. And that was last year, in fact. So he's not played a game at all this season. Only played 5 games last year, but has had 5 seasons as the starting goalkeeper for Mikulova, again, in the tier above the tier we're in. So you would think he should be half decent, and he's just coming straight into the team. Obviously, not particularly close to match fitness because he's not played a game in a very long time. He's played 5 games in the last 2 years. But he's got a pretty decent beard and hair combo, so fingers crossed. That's all you need. Other than him, the team is unchanged from the team in the last match because, you know, we shipped 5 goals. That's got to be a positive. But I have remembered to put long throws on. So we do have a long throw instruction. Let's see if we score from a long throw today. Wouldn't that be a thing? Flackwell, Heath, 1 place, 1 point below us in the league, just like they were before that last match. So it seems that pretty much everyone around us also lost in that last match. Jersey did win, but Phoenix Sports lost. Flackwell Heath lost to Jersey. I mean, I said in the run-up to the previous match that it's non-league. Everyone's going to drop points. And the fact that we're still only 1 point behind top of the league really demonstrates that point, because we were really, really poor, but so is everybody else. And hopefully Flackwell Heath will be again today. Let's go and get a win and get ourselves, hopefully, back to the top of the league. Obviously, Jersey Bulls now in the driver's seat as far as that's concerned. And Phoenix Sports won't necessarily lose again. They're playing Mercham, who are somewhere down in 15th. So Phoenix Sports should win. Jersey Bulls play Tooting and Mitcham. So you would expect them to win again. And hopefully we can beat Flackwell Heath. If we become a 3, I mean, that's better than nothing, isn't it? Horndean beating Southall. Southall just beat us. Now Horndean beating them. Everyone is going to lose to everyone before this season is done. It's a strange old league. Non-league in Football Manager is weird. And we're more than halfway through this first half, and there hasn't been a chance yet. There's not even been a highlight. So let's offer some encouragement and hope that we can be the first ones to pick up a chance. Wouldn't that be nice? No, it's going to be a highlight for them. They've got to throw. And Cross comes in. It's going to be our first chance to have a look at Bosworth, potentially. Although Leroy heads it clear-ish. And then actually does a tackle that doesn't give away a penalty, which is quite a new thing for Leroy. Oh, by the way, I have signed a new right-back as well. He's not fit to play today. But there is a new right-back who's in because Leroy keeps getting suspended. Bosworth is beaten from long range there. But thankfully, it's disallowed. My new right-back is... if we go and find him, I don't know what's got into me today. This is a chaos episode. New right back. Where is he? John Coffey. There he is. So this guy is in formerly of various clubs, including #United. But he's in, can play naturally on either. So he's actually a left back, and he's a left-footed right back or left back. So quite a useful utility man, but just like the goalkeeper, way away from match fitness. And unlike in goal, we don't need to rush him in because we do have some fullbacks already. So he can play a couple of games for the reserves. He's really a signing for next season because I think it's just a useful utility man to have. Someone who's completely natural at fullback on both sides is something that is very handy to have around the squad. Oh my word. Bosworth's not filling me with confidence yet. Remember, he's not match fit. We're not going to worry about it just yet. It'll be fine. Still 0-0 though. We have theoretically had the better of the chances according to the XG. We've not seen any of them, but theoretically we have. It looks like Phoenix Sports are losing again. I have people from time to time question how we go on our runs of good form and then suddenly are rubbish. You see it in all the teams at this level. Phoenix Sports were on a great run, but now they're losing again, this time to a team in the bottom half of the table. So as it stands right now, Jersey Bulls, who are only drawing, are top of the league. We're level on points with them, as are Phoenix Sports, and Flackwell Heath, who we're playing, are 1 point behind. This is quite a busy title race, boys and girls. But if we can grab a goal here, we will end the episode top of the league, which would be a jolly nice situation to be in. If we could do that, please and thank you. But we're 70 minutes in. We still haven't had an attacking highlight. Butterfield's been rubbish. So we're going to bring Dolan on up front. Have a look at him. Best isn't playing his best. We'll bring Macaulay on. My assistant manager's been telling me to start Macaulay. Oh God, no! Don't do this. Oh, I've never done this before. I don't like this screen. Yeah, just confirm. I call them over for a team talk and then just look at them in a motivating fashion. Phoenix Sports, I think, have equalised against Mercham. They have, and now they've taken the lead. So that opportunity that we had has now flipped on its head. It's no longer an opportunity and kind of becomes a requirement at this point that we find a way back into this game. I think we take off right, bring on Slew, and throw a second man up front. And he can go up there as, I mean, we'll just go double poacher. What's the worst that can happen? We need a goal. A draw here isn't particularly useful to us because a draw or a defeat still leaves us basically looking at playoffs. If we're serious about going up automatically, we've got to win. So we need to push things a little bit and try and get that winning goal. Leroy playing it forward to Slew, who's dropped deep, turns, tries to release Best, and Best has got in behind his fullback here, and the new boy is in the middle. It's across to Dolan, and Johnny Dolan has scored his first goal for the club. 1-0, and that's what? Less than 10 minutes to go in the match. That's our first attacking highlight of the entire match, and it was an inspired substitution. Slew doing wonderful work. Best is Best, doing what he does best, and Dolan, a proper poacher, in there to grab the goal. And that could be huge for us because that leaves us in the same situation as we were at the start of the episode, 1 point behind Phoenix Sports, but with a much better goal difference. So if they drop points again, we're still nicely poised to swoop in. Oh my word, this is going to be a stressful run in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cope with this, especially because I've got to hang out with my previous assistant manager again tomorrow in the run in at the end of the season. This is going to be a stressful one. Fingers crossed when we meet again tomorrow, we are still in the automatic promotion race, or else I'm going to be very, very sad. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.